All right, it is 7 p.m. I'd like to call the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees regular meeting to order. Roll call for attendance, please.
Kevin?
Here.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Here.
All right, we have a quorum.
All right, if everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence or prayer. Thank you. All right, we will get started into our meeting with announcements and correspondences first. Do we have any announcements or correspondences today? Hearing none, we do have a scheduled meeting guest today. We have with us Summit Insurance Agency as part of OTARMA. I'd like to invite you to the lectern, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. I just want to give you a brief overview of the coverages you have through the OTARMA program, and you do have an option to consider tonight, and hopefully you have some questions for me. So the total insured property that you have with buildings of personal property, you'll see there is 15.6 million. And what blanket means is, although we limit, we show in the statement of values an amount of coverage at each building and personal property or contents there, you're not limited to that amount if there's a total loss to a building. You'd have the 15.6 million. And we just added the library recently to this. Separate property coverages, we call it miscellaneous property, and those are those items that can really be anywhere. They're not always at one location like personal property. That totals 1.8 million, and then computers is 126,000, software and hardware. So that totals $17.5 million. It's insured at special or all risk. It used to be called all risk, so there's really no broader way to insure property. Unless you add flood or earthquake to your program, you don't have that. I'm not suggesting you do that, but you could add flood and earthquake. Replacement cost coverage, so it's new for old, and then there's $2,500 deductible. All your liability limits, general liability, public officials or wrongful acts, liability protection for the fire department operations and police department are at $8 million. The public officials has a $500 deductible, and law enforcement has a $2,000 deductible. Everything else does not have a deductible. Cyber liabilities, an exception, that's $1 million coverage. Data breach coverage is also at $1 million. We're insuring 40 vehicles, including 5 fire. Met with Chief recently, and 3 of your fire units are insured at what we call guaranteed replacement cost. So we have an amount of coverage, and then if it's destroyed, we'll go above that to get a brand new unit with same capabilities. 2 of the other units are at what's called stated amount, so we list the amount that you would get if that's destroyed. So you could increase that. Chief thought that because they're old, and actually one I guess is not in service right now, we'll leave it as it is. You have crime coverage for $541,000 and faithful performance of duty of $250,000. Crime covers intentional theft. You know, the person commits the crime, they intended to do that, they frauded you deliberately. Faithful performance is more the negligence of an employee or a public official. They're not following procedure, or they omit to do something and then the incident occurs. Last year your premium was $135,408. This year it's $142,288. So about $7,000 increase, primarily because of the library, and overall property did increase, property values. I always like to say, for planning purposes, for non-fire vehicles, it's a good time right after the anniversary to add dump trucks or cruisers because we don't make a charge for that during the year. You'll notice there that there's an option to increase your deductibles on the vehicles. Currently, the fire vehicles have a $500 comprehensive deductible and $500 collision. The other vehicles have a $100 comprehensive with the $500 collision. If you took them all to $1,000 comprehensive and $2,500 collision, you'd save $7,500. In the last 3 years, I think you've had 5 claims that you've paid the deductible for. So 5 times 2,000, which would be the, the max hit difference. You would have paid $10,000 the last 3 years versus potentially saving $7,500. Does that make sense? Okay. And then there's the, we call them grants, 3 grants that you always apply for and get reimbursed for. And those total $3,000, so that would take the premium down to $139,000, about $300. So that's really all I have prepared to talk about. But I've got the
Now,
full.
are you responsible for applying for these 3 grants for us, or do we initiate?
You will initiate that. I think police and fire chief have done that every year, and then I can get with Jasmine to help her, or maybe she's already done it.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah, we've
grants
already done it.
I think the grant you're alluding to is the police and fire policy grant and the MORE grant.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You said
yeah,
you-
we've already processed the applications for those
Okay,
grants.
excellent.
Yes.
Good question. So they're on that.
What are you seeing industry-wise? Is it average about this 1-2% increase? Is that what you're seeing with other municipalities?
Yeah, so last year there was actually a decent increase for the first time in Otarma's history. And that was due to the fact that claims really blew up the last several years. Not necessarily Brimfield, but the idea of a risk-sharing pool is really no different than insurance. When claims exceed what they expect, contractually, Otarma has to make it up in the budget. So, yeah, there's pretty flat renewal this year, but last year was a bigger hit. Yeah.
Roy, did we verify that McGuire Park was included in this?
Yeah, Jim, do you want to touch on that? I think one of the trustees had a question about McGuire Park that you and I communicated on that being covered under our policy.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So you're automatically covered for liability. So if there's kids over there and get hurt, maybe they're trying to break into the dilapidated structure there, or they are doing something they're not supposed to be doing, you get sued for that, you'd be covered for that, defense coverage. If and when you ever build something there, even as minor as a playground or a fence or just a storage shed or something, then we need to add that location. I did send the information up to the administrator to see if they have any additional questions, but just the fact that we know about it is good.
So even with a dilapidated building, we don't need to add it since we're not utilizing that building?
I don't know if it's insurable or not. If it's in such disrepair, they would not want to insure it.
Okay.
But if it's something that, you're looking to rehabilitate and put into use, there's a coverage called builder's risk that covers it during the course of construction.
Jim, if I'm looking at your sheet correctly then, so this year, accounting for the library, if we stayed with the current deductibles as they are, it would be $142,288. If the board wanted to take into consideration adjusting those deductibles and subtracting $7,547, that would take the premium due to, if my math is correct, $134,741. Does that sound like I'm in the ballpark on that?
Yep, I would agree with that.
And you said in 5 years we've had 3 claims? Or,
I think you've had-
no, 5 claims in 3 years.
I think that's the case, yes. For auto physical damage, that would come into play with that coverage.
Right. We're saving $7,500 a year. Yeah, times that by 3, that supersedes what costs right now.
Did you know what the breakdown was of the claims? Was it like 3 years ago and then we haven't had any, or was it split up evenly?
Yeah, I was
Just-
looking at it earlier today. They were not all in the same year,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
The max in any year was
Probably-
2.
Probably pretty close
Yeah.
to.
Two last
2 a
year
year.
from us, 2 the year before. I think they're probably all ours.
Yep.
A couple of them, 3 of them are windshields, two couple crashes.
Yeah, I just looked at the ones that went over the deductible.
Over the deductible amount?
Yeah.
And we have this on the agenda
Okay.
later for us to discuss, like, which one we choose. This is more
Okay.
information gathered right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Do we have other questions?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get with Jasmine after you decide, because it's your first time and there's nothing to it really, but.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate your
thank you.
loyalty to the program. Take care.
All right. Next up, we have meeting minutes to be reviewed and signed. I will entertain a motion for the acceptance of the May 18th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussions on those meeting minutes? All right, hearing none, roll call.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
minutes approved.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, we have motion and a second on the floor. Are there any amendments to the agenda as presented? All right, hearing none, roll call to accept the agenda as presented.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
all right, agenda approved.
I'll entertain a motion to accept purchase orders as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion on purchase orders? Hearing none, roll call to accept purchase orders.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
purchase orders approved.
I'll entertain a motion to accept warrants as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion on the warrants? Hearing none, roll call to accept warrants as presented.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
warrants approved.
All right, we'll now move into our public comment section. Can you grab that for me, Dave? Thank you. We do ask that you state your name and address before addressing the board and to step up to the podium. We will set a timer here behind the podium today for 3 minutes if we have any speakers. Nobody? All right, last call. If anybody has any comments today? All right, hearing none, we'll move into safety concerns then. Are there any safety concerns to be brought before the Board of Trustees today? Hearing none, we'll move into the business portion of our meeting. We'll now turn it over to the police department. Chief, floor is yours.
All right, we have no updates on old business. I am going to ask the board for approval of another donation to our K-9 unit. We received a donation of $2,000 from the Mogador VFW Post 8487 to the K-9 unit, so I'll ask your board of approval for accepting that $2,000 donation.
All right, entertain a motion for the acceptance of a $2,000 donation from Mogador VFW Post 8487 for the K-9 unit.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, and then you'll send them over a thank you letter.
Already done.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call to accept.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
all right, motion passes.
Under new business, we have set a date for a distracted driving blitz. It'll be June 23rd or 24th. We'll be partnering with Ohio State Highway Patrol again to target distracted drivers on our main roadways. And we are looking at a commercial interdiction also at some point, but we don't have a date for that. A reminder that we will be having our sponsorship at the bike rodeo on June 13th. Correct date, right? Memory. And the only thing under new business for board approval is we're going to ask board approval to for a 2026 to 28 contract with Lexipol, our company, for policy management and risk management.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to accept the 2026 through 2028 contract with Lexipol.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion.
Yeah, this Lexipool, for the benefit of us who don't know what Lexipool does, would you want to let us know?
Lexipol is a risk management, but more properly titled as a policy management company. They provide legal guidance for police policies across the country. They are probably responsible for 75 to 80%, maybe higher, all police policies out there. Our subscription with them makes sure that we get all the updated policies, all the updated policy recommendations, and make sure we're following case law and legal rulings to make sure that we are ahead of any legal liability with our policies.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll just piggyback on that for a second, Chief. Another component of that's also going to be policy training. That's incorporated with daily training bulletins. So that's a resource that would be sent out by the chief, go out to all the officers on a monthly basis. So they're going to get continuous and ongoing training relative to the policies.
Okay.
In addition to that, we can get reimbursement for that training because that training is certified by the state as some of the training that we can get reimbursement for.
Okay.
Other questions about Lexipol?
Mm-mm. Thank you very much.
All right, hearing none, roll call to accept the contract?
Kevin?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And the only thing I'm going to add, it wasn't really an agenda item, but it's not new or old business. We are getting a lot of calls about e-bikes. It is summer, the kids are out of school, they are out on their e-bikes. It is not illegal to ride an e-bike on the roadway. Almost all of them you cannot ride on sidewalks and they're prohibited, but if they're following all the laws of the roadway, that they're not operating recklessly, there is nothing criminal and we cannot stop them from riding in the roads. And when I say I'm getting a lot of calls, I am not exaggerating. We have people coming to the police department, we have phone calls, we have emails over the past week. We're probably approaching 10 where some people have had return trips to the police department to complain about the e-bikes. So we're responding, we're making sure the kids are operating safely, following traffic rules, having all the proper equipment that an e-bike has to have by Ohio Revised Code. But other than that, if they're following all those rules, we cannot stop them from riding on a roadway.
So they can't be on sidewalks, but they can be on roadway.
Most of them cannot be on sidewalks. There's 3 classifications of e-bikes based on how fast they can go, but the majority of them that you see out there cannot be on a sidewalk. So people will say, hey, why don't they go off the road and go on the sidewalk? Per Ohio Revised Code, they actually can't be on the sidewalk. They have to be on the roadway. Same. Electric powered, scooters can be on the sidewalk. Well, I have to look at the wording. 2 wheels, sorry.
All right, other questions for police?
Chris, you mentioned something up back in the driving blitz, the distracted driving. You said something
Yes.
about commercial. I missed that.
We are looking at doing a commercial blitz. Roy could tell you that on a weekly basis, we probably get a call a day of a reckless semi on 76 that we respond to. So between us and the state patrol, we said, hey, maybe we'll do a commercial blitz one day. They'll send their commercial units out and start looking for distracted driving and commercial issues on 76 that we end up getting called to. So that day is not there yet.
Do you ever got a trustee ride home? Because I'd love that job.
I mean, probably could find a seat for you. In the back.
Thank you. Sorry, I missed that, but thanks.
No date on that yet, though.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Hearing no further questions, thank you for the update, and we'll turn it over to fire department now.
Okay, thank you. No old business tonight. On new business, updates, fire department attended the Memorial Day celebration. I know we'll talk about that later in the agenda, but it went great, I thought. We did file a claim in did Jim leave? He did. He left, but I've been working with Jim on Otarma on the broken fire truck. We did file a claim. I heard back today as they passed that stuff along, and the lady said she was going to send it to underwriting. So I thought that was a good thing. I don't know if that means anything or not. If it goes underwriting, I have no idea. But she was very nice, and we'll see what happens with that because the claim is significant in price. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. For board approval, I have 2 things tonight. One would be a resolution authorizing the fire chief to execute the DEA power of attorney in administrative control substance ordering authority for Brimfield Fire Department. We have to sign the new DEA paperwork It can be done by the administrator or others. Roy and I discussed, and he thought it would be better if I just did it as the fire chief. So do you want to piggyback onto that?
Yeah, in essence, it's just the DEA has specific guidelines on authority for that, and you as the Board of Trustees have the ability to grant the fire chief the authority to administer that program for ordering of controlled substances for fire department use. So the resolution language you have is a little more granular than than strictly a motion would be. Gives you a little more specific information as to what it is and why we would do it, and the control that the fire chief would have to oversee that program.
Okay.
And just a little bit more, one of us have to sign it. I mean, we have no choice. We have to follow the DEA guidelines.
And this is to allow the administration of the controlled substances on a medical call or whatever that may be.
Yes, and so, not that we're not going to, but if we don't sign it, we lose our drug license, basically. So
Okay.
we have to.
Yep.
However you want to do it.
Yep. All right. I'll entertain a motion to accept in name only a resolution authorizing execution of DEA powers of attorney and controlled substance ordering authority.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor, and then this would authorize the fire chief to be into that position. Is there any questions we have on this? for the fire chief?
So this is the program for the medicines that they use in the fire department, that we can do whatever we have to do with that.
Yes,
Give it to whoever the doctors say that we should do and how much and all that. Okay.
correct.
And we still work under the medical director for the hospital through that.
Okay.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, roll call for acceptance of the resolution?
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll
Approved.
work on that and get that moving forward.
All right, thank you.
Second, I want to discuss and entertain the purchase of a used fire engine from City of Streetsboro at $30,000 was the verbally agreed upon price. Just to give some more information with our fire truck being broke, and that's being our main fire truck, we had to explore some other options that were out there. Streetsboro, it was getting ready to get rid of a fire engine. It is 26 years old, so it's not new by any means, but when you talk about a fire truck now, you're over $1 million. They were willing to sell it to Brimfield as a neighboring township for $30,000, and that would come with equipment, again, being 26 years old, but Trustee Scott and I and the mechanic went up there, we drove it, we looked at it, we think it's well worth that money, and being in the money situation that we're at, we need to be able to get by for a couple of years, and I think this would do that for us. So I'm requesting the option to purchase that, and we can have more board discussion on that.
I'll entertain a motion for the purchase of a used fire engine and equipment from the city of Streetsboro for a cost of $30,000.
I'll make that motion.
Second for discussion.
So even if we could buy a new fire engine, we're 3 to 4 years out with build time anyways. So this helps bridge that gap.
You are, and I feel like Brimfield, well, the fire department, we fall right in line for a grant. I felt like we were right in line for a grant last year, and federal government shut down the specific grant for the fire trucks. Anytime you get over 25 years old on fire engines, you fall into the top tier of being able to get a grant. So we're at 29-year-old with one truck. If we purchase this, we're at 26-year-old, and we're at 25-year-old with a tanker. Plus, we can come back and say that our main fire engine, which is 13 years old, is broken. So again, I feel like this year we'll apply again, and we'll be right in line for that. The federal grant is a 95.5 grant, so you do the math at $1 million, we'd owe $50,000. So we're going to apply for it every year, and I feel confident we can be right in line to get that. But in the meantime, this is an option for us, and I think it's a good option for us.
And
Personally, shouldn't go out on a limb, but I don't mind used. It's a good used fire engine. I mean, when you talk some of these places, and I know Streetsboro runs a little bit more, but it's in great shape. It can get us by for a few years, so.
So then what you're explaining, so I can understand it, is that our truck is 29 years old.
The broken one is 13 years old.
How old's the broken one?
13.
Oh, the broken one is 13. Okay, but theirs is 26. And it takes 3 years or more to build a new one up when you put your order in. So this would be like a stopgap and get us between that and give us time for any decisions on grant money, right?
Correct. It'll buy us some time.
It'll buy us 3 years or so.
I mean, it's always a guess, but yes.
Okay.
I think we could get, Kevin, if you wanted to speak on it,
Oh,
3
yeah.
to 5 years, easy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's a good truck.
Streetsboro updated a lot of
You
stuff.
drove it?
I did drive it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Wonderful.
I told him no pictures, but I did drive it.
Okay.
It was scary, but,
I didn't wreck it.
right, right.
They didn't give me a hat either. Streetsboro spent a lot of money. There's new hoses, there's new fittings, there's new plumbing. The tires are good, everything's good. It does have some rust on the frame, but I think that'll get us through. Runs good. I would buy it if I was a fireman, so. It gives us it's a Band-Aid, I mean,
Right, right.
But-
Again, it's 26 years old, but
and they promised us a lot of extra parts and pieces to go with it, any valves and whatever else they wanted to give with us, but it's a good truck.
Well, since you're a farmer, and a lot of people don't know that, you know a lot about machinery.
I was a fireman that day.
And you were a fireman for one day. That's wonderful.
I was a fireman.
Okay.
No, it's a good truck, and they've spent a lot of money on it just recently. So,
so, as a Band-Aid, and I don't want to get too far, that will be our first out truck coming up.
Yeah.
So we're still behind, and we know that, but I'm working on plans to try to get us forward.
Jasmine, my question, since you're the money person, do we have sufficient funds or wait to get that truck?
So, our plans would be to use the JED M&I funds
Okay.
to purchase that.
What's turnaround time from when you get it till you can get it on the road? Because I know we're gonna have to get it lettered and.
So very quickly, I want to get it down hopefully this week, get it estimated for sticker and lettering, which shouldn't be much. It's red and white, it matches everything, so I don't have to repaint anything, just get stickers on it. Then I'm gonna work with the mechanic who has worked on it since day one for 26 years in Streetsboro, and he has agreed to come down and do training for each shift. And I think that makes sense to say, hey, here's the little quirks, you know, and how to run it. So as soon as we can get that in, and then we gotta get all the hoses and stuff on it. With that being said, a month, I think would be sufficient, but I need to, again, we're running a 29-year-old engine right now, and I cross my fingers every time it goes out, so.
one last thing, the mayor originally from Streetsboro wanted $100,000 for that truck.
Correct. And in fairness to him, he realized that it was a neighboring township that he could help, that the engine could come back and help him on a fire. So they were willing to drop to a significant price for us.
Further questions?
Okay.
Discussion? All right, we got a motion on the floor. Roll call.
Kevin?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
All right, motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
Can you also make sure just you extend a thank you to the mayor, city council
Yeah,
out there,
of
and
course.
the chief for working with us on this?
So not to put anybody on the spot, so I can call them tomorrow and say, give it to us, and then we'll work on fiscal with fiscal as far as title and
Yes, that's
stuff
fine.
like that?
Mhm.
Okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think this is a move that we had to make. So I know you approved it, but we really had to do this right now. So, thank you. And that's all I have on that.
I have an FYI.
Okay.
This is an FYI. The state of Ohio has passed with the Bureau of License. Then, you know, right now, all of our license plates that we have here say Portage County. Well, the state of Ohio has made it so we can take that off and put Brimfield Township there instead of of Portage County. I just want to bring that to remembrance when we renew our license, and you'll be getting your license for this truck.
Thank you.
I would rather it say Brimfield Township than Portage County.
Craig, what's going on with Kent Dispatch? Anything new?
No, I've been,
Jasmine was working on it.
I've been,
Sorry, Jasmine, that's you.
I'll go
That's
this
you,
way.
Jasmine.
so I'm
Jasmine,
still in talks with their finance officer. So once I come to a conclusion, I will let you know.
no update then.
No update.
Okay,
And I have got no more phone calls, so.
okay. Thank you.
Other questions for fire tonight? All right, hearing none, we'll move into administration. First up on administration, old business, touch a truck. Any updates, Kevin?
Just to update, we've got 5 food trucks coming. Grounded coffee, roll call burgers, endless summer ice cream. The fruit truck, which is all kinds of fruit dishes, I suppose, and Sugar Bay Desserts is coming. I reached out to Chuck Palmer, who has a fancy pulling tractor, and he has offered to bring that for the kids to look at and climb on. Scott Farm is going to bring a couple of trucks if we want them. And then we've got, I think, Roy, you said SWAT would bring something in?
For touch a truck?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've talked to Chief Atkins on that.
okay. And then,
You'll
you know,
be
our road
there.
guys and our police and fire.
Might be locked up.
I did not reach out to recycling yet,
Okay.
and
If you want me to, I can reach out to recycling.
that's fine.
Okay. I'll reach out to recycling, Portage County, water resources, like a few pieces of equipment. We got that big vac truck and stuff. And the engineer's office, I'm gonna reach out to them too. Engineers. Okay.
How many do we want?
I've never get there. Did anybody reach out to Field Schools yet for their bus? So one of us should reach out to Field, they'd like to be part of it.
Okay. You want me to do it, or?
Yeah, you wanna reach out to Field
That's fine.
School? I'll get the other 3.
Okay.
I probably have to do that.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. That's who I was gonna call anyhow.
Okay. And.
So that'd give us, I don't know, 5 food trucks and 20 vehicles?
Yeah, we'll fill it up. All right. Thank you for the update.
You're welcome.
Property tax payment, that's just sitting with the state. Jasmine, I haven't heard anything, have you?
That's it.
Okay, so we'll wait on that. Field rentals, we can take that off of there now. We're basically at that point where they're renting fields if they need to.
Okay.
Website update, do you have an update for?
Yeah, I can touch on that. Yeah, the new website is designated to go live by the end of this week. And then beyond that, as we need to make fine tunes and updates to things going forward, we'll do that, obviously. But the new site will be live by the end of this week.
We have nothing under old business for board approval. We do have some updates under new business.
Oh, hold on, Nick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Under old business, the propane tanks will be delivered July 7th, and they'll be switching everything over.
Okay,
And I think they told, AmeriGas said there's no charge to pick up their tanks.
Correct. You did say
So,
that.
perfect.
yeah.
All right,
So that all happened like the first week of July.
okay. Do we need to do anything for them, or they just? need to
Nope,
come out and handle
they're
it?
just coming out and handling it.
Okay,
They will need in the community center to redo the furnace and whatever else
okay.
after everything's switched over. So,
Okay, so they'll coordinate, where can they coordinate with you on that?
Yeah.
okay. Yep. Same thing with the cemetery, whatever we have in there.
Okay. All right. New business, Brimfield Township JED agreement. So, a few months ago, the Board of Trustees here in Brimfield approved a resolution amending the Brimfield Township City of Talmadge Joint Economic Development District Agreement. Specifically, we made some amendments and sent them to the City of Talmadge related to the JED Maintenance and Improvement Fund. Underneath the JED Maintenance and Improvement Fund, we added language that says, including the purchase of township police, fire, and road department vehicles to be used in whole or in part within the area of the JED. Then we also cleaned up some information in section 2 related to changing Talmadge to the city and MCI to Maintenance and Improvement Fund. It was just language pieces that had to be updated to be consistent throughout the contract. With that amendment change, That would allow us to utilize maintenance and improvement funds to do road maintenance, allow us to utilize the funds for all the things we had before, but it adds in police, fire, and road vehicle payments. What we found is, Jasmine, was it 23-24 audit that they?
24, yep, 24 on it.
24 audit, the auditor said, we don't believe maintenance and improvement includes vehicles. Those expenditures need to be repaid back to the maintenance and improvement fund out of those department fund lines. So after talking to legal counsel, they said that they've seen this happen in the past. We just need to do a language change and we could make it retroactive to the beginning of 2024. We made that motion. We sent it over to City of Talmadge. City of Talmadge held 3 public hearings on that, 3 readings of the motion. At the end of that, last Thursday, they voted 4-1 to accept that. So the language change becomes effective immediately. It means that maintenance and improvement fund dollars now can be used for the purchase of vehicles such as police, road, and fire vehicles. And that's how we're able to fund part of that piece for the fire department with the fire engine, because that money became available as of Thursday. So just an update to everybody on that. Special thank you to City Council over at Talmadge for their work and help on making this transfer, especially to the mayor for sponsoring that bill with the City of Talmadge. All right, next we have notifications of filing of auditor state report, Brimfield Township, City of Talmadge Joint Economic Development District. I am the JED representative for the Brimfield Talmadge JED. And we just completed our basic audit for the years ending December 31st, 2025 and 2024. Per the Ohio State Auditor, they said based on the results of our procedures, we found no significant compliance or accounting issues to report. In the prior engagement from 23 and 22, they did find non-compliance with Ohio Revised Code 149.43 for failure to adopt a public records policy. That was corrected during the 24 and 25 session, so that has been closed out also. So it came back with a clean bill on the audit from the joint
Good,
from the
good,
JED.
good, wonderful.
So, once I look at it, I'll pass this down and we'll have a look at it. So that's the update on the auditor's report for the JED. And that moves us into application for a TARMA.
Yeah, just one other item there under new business updates, just information for the board. So I submitted the application on May 21st to OTARMA for the OTARMA Police and Fire EMS. I left out the word policy. That's a policy grant. So that's was in the amount of $2,000. Usually there's a 1 to 2 month lag time to get back from OTARMA on findings on those grant awards. That will be used to offset the cost of Power DMS, and we have submitted for this grant in previous years and been awarded this grant, so I'm anticipating that's what's going to happen this time as well. So once we get the information back from OTARMA on awarding this grant, I'll follow up with the board accordingly, but just wanted to make you aware that that has been submitted. Moving down under items for board approval, the first item I have for you is renewing our contract agreement with BenefitScape. This is for our Affordable Care Act reporting for tax year 2026. The board may recall that we used BenefitScape last year for tax year 2025 as well, for all of the logistics and work done for ACA reporting that the township is required to do. Really no change to that, just asking you to renew that contract for the upcoming tax year for 2026. It's going to be the same cost that it was for last year, $3,100. That'll be split into 2 payments with $1,500 due upfront upon board approval, and the second half of that payment would not be due until first quarter of 2027.
I'll entertain a motion to renew the contract agreement with BenefitScape for the Affordable Care Act reporting for tax year 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions on that process? All right, roll call to accept the contract.
Kevin?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. The second item for board approval is a follow-up to Jim's presentation earlier at the beginning of the meeting regarding your insurance renewal for 2026 and 2027.
So right now they're suggesting an increase to 142,288, keeping our deductibles as they are. We could save $7,547 annually if we were to increase the deductibles to $1,000 for comprehensive and $2,500 for collision.
I think that'd be the way to go, to increase our deductibles,
What are your
to
thoughts?
save that $7,000 a year.
Well, I think if you take in consideration Jim's feedback on our claim history, I think his feedback was of course, there's always the unknowns. You could have something pop up and suddenly you could have 2 claims that would come up in short notice. So there's always the variable of the unknown. But asking Jim for his recommendation, he thought it would make sense, given our claim history, that if you wanted to increase those deductibles to take the decrease in premium, there'd be data to support that.
If we continued historical data, we're looking at $10,000 in 3 years that we would have paid out compared to saving $22,000. So
Correct.
it's $12,000 saving over that time frame. Now, anything can happen, but
Right. The claims are a variable, the savings is it's right there.
yeah, I mean, we could save a lot if we have no claims.
Yeah. Nope, I agree. Raise the deductibles.
Jasmine, what's your thoughts?
I agree.
Go to the higher deductibles.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go that route, we're actually going to come in a little bit lower, a little bit less than what we paid last year.
And we add in our grants too, our 3,000 in grants every year. So, okay. I'll entertain a motion then to accept the Otarma insurance renewal for 2026 through 2027 with an increase to comprehensive coverage deductible to $1,000 and collision to $2,500.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I think with that, with the math, your total premium would be $134,741.
Sounds good.
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, roll call.
Kevin?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. The next item I have for board approval is acceptance of the Otarma Moore Grant in the amount of $250. This is for the Otarma Educational Webinar Series that applies to all of our members of the township staff that are members of the Ohio Township Association. So we originally paid that cost up front. This is a reimbursement of that cost back to the township of $250.
All right, entertain a motion to accept the Otarma Moore Grant in the amount of $250.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call for acceptance.
Kevin?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. The last item I have for board approval is regarding Brimfield Township hosting a POW MIA observance program on Saturday, September 18th. This would be in partnership with Alpha 11 Veteran Logistics, Inc. and the Portage County Veterans Service Commission. Nick, if you want to speak on this briefly, I know the gentleman behind this reached out to you originally and shared some information, which led to our discussion tonight.
Yeah, so Alpha 11 Veteran Logistics came and spoke at our trustee meeting, I believe the last meeting or the meeting before. They are actually based out of Talmadge, but they work closely with Talmadge and Brimfield. There are no POW MIA observance programs happening locally, and he wanted to bring that here, and he would like to host that on our property. Really, he's not asking for much out of the township other than giving him the space to organize and hold it here at the town center. I think it's a great opportunity for us to recognize that and start to build that relationship with Alpha 11. They're really working hard to bring some of these things to the forefront and allow people to be part of that memorial service. So I'd like to entertain a motion to accept an agreement between Brimfield Township and Alpha 11 Veteran Logistics to host the POW MIA observance program.
I'll make that
on September
motion.
18th. So we have a
Second.
motion? Second. They're just, I think the best way we handle that is, Roy, can we just do a rental agreement at no cost for him to the property?
We can do that, I think, right now, because originally my discussions with him, I'm like, hey, what kind of a turnout do you think you can expect? He really doesn't know.
Right.
He's going to be reaching out to different entities to get the message out and share it. So, because I said we need to make sure you have adequate space. If people want to come and see this, are there places for people to park? His initial thought was maybe doing it at our gazebo. Hey, can I maybe do it at the gazebo there? And so we had discussions about attendance and parking and whatnot. Because he also mentioned potentially doing it at the VA center. And I said, well, that really wouldn't involve the township directly per se, and they're kind of out of the way. They're tucked in back into the Cascades there. It's really just a large parking lot with a building, so that might not be the most ideal venue for it. So I think first and foremost, I just think he wants to try to do something here in Brimfield Township, and I said I think our board would be amenable to doing that. So for turnout and whatnot, I don't know the answer to that today. I guess as we go forward and get more information, we might get a better gauge on that. But I would say tentatively right now, the gazebo could be a potential location for this.
Yeah, I would say, under this motion, we give you the authority to allow him to use one of those properties just under a rental agreement at no cost.
Yeah.
That talks about that whole liability thing that we talked about before with any events that happen. in the
Yeah.
township.
That'd be fine.
Yep.
In discussion, I recall that Matt Kelly, our auditor, he's also involved because he has that March for 22, where he's saying that every day there's 22 disabled veterans that die. And maybe we need to put this guy in touch with Matt Kelly, because that would give you a better reach of people to come and celebrate there. That's just a thought. I think it's a great idea.
It is. If we find the numbers are getting bigger, we can just transfer over to the soccer fields.
Okay.
That'd be a good location too, stay in the town center.
I can reach back out to him, assuming you vote to proceed with this, he and I can just have communication this week, and I'll keep in communication with him going forward.
And could you think he'd probably come to another meeting or
Oh,
two, right?
absolutely. I think he even mentioned wanting to come tonight, but he had a prior obligation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would be great.
He's really engaged in the area. This is the second time that I've met him.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Roll call to accept.
Kevin?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, that's all I have for you.
Any other administrative discussion? Nope. All right, hearing none, we'll move into zoning and economic development. Mike, the floor is yours, sir.
Thanks, Nick. First, a new business updates on zoning commission. The zoning commission had discussions surrounding data centers, and that continues, including detailed restrictions that are needed in draft legislation. The survey results for the agricultural properties over 20 acres in the R3 and R4 districts were covered. Minimal responses were received. Updates to Chapter 8 Agriculture and Comprehensive Land Use Plan will be discussed at the June meeting. The commission discussed and moved to remove section 400.10B 56L, number 1. The current language allows for high-density development in open space conservation district. A public hearing is scheduled for June 10th at 6:30 to eliminate that. As far as the BZA updates, no applications were received for the May meeting, so it was canceled. The next meeting is scheduled for June 10th at 7 p.m. Updates within the department itself is the Portage Development Board locates Stay Grow event was held on May 27th of 2026. The Village St. Edwards was given the Locate Award, and they are bringing 83 jobs to the community. I won't go too in-depth with that now because they're going to come to the next meeting as a meeting guest and explain it all. And I want to congratulate them. The villas at Wiles Farm apartment homes on Town Square Drive continue work on constructing apartments and nearing completion. The county engineer has approved the public roadway improvements from the TIF that we created. Lights and sidewalks are now being installed on Town Square Park East and not on here, but Town Square Park West. They're looking at doing the same thing, as well as paving that one. Brimfield Crossings Plaza building construction is complete, and they're currently working on landscaping and preparing for paving. Subway will be relocating to this plaza. And then that concludes my report.
Mike, thank you so much for adding the zoning commission and the BZA updates. I think it helps just keep everybody on the same page, so
Sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions tonight for zoning or economic development?
Hey, Mike, I didn't get a questionnaire.
You're not in an R3 or R4.
Oh, it's just all three. Okay. But the public hearing, our website has the dates wrong. Is that going to cause us a problem?
The public hearing is on the 10th?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
No, he has it the 11th, or vice versa.
So the zoning commission's on the 11th, and then the public hearing is the 10th.
It was, right?
That's correct.
Okay, because I thought I
Two
saw
different
dates.
days.
Okay, all right.
Just out of curiosity, why are they doing the public hearing on the 10th and then the meeting on the 11th?
That's what they voted on.
Okay. Is that how they've done that in the past? The whole public hearings and meetings on separate dates?
It depends on it, who can make it to early and who can't on that day. So
Okay.
that's what they decided on. Also, they base it on how many people they anticipate coming. I don't think that there's going to be a huge crowd on this one.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for zoning? All right. Hearing none, thank you for the report, appreciate it. We'll move into road department. Dave, what was yours, sir?
Well, thanks, Nick. Ken, I don't know, you want to take the Malloy Road thing, or you want me to just?
Yeah, go ahead,
Right, Malloy Road update, working with the county engineer's office. I'm gonna meet them on site sometime this week to go over plans, move forward, maybe replacing the pipe underneath the roadway. And, some of the piping sizes, all that, they'll have their report done for me this week. Countryside, update, I've been back, I sent a thing out to, Eric, to the resident, I won't say names, I never do that. She responded back, we're in discussions on some things that were gonna be done down there for right now. Buckeye Boulevard update, where we have a massive sinkhole in the roadway, we're gonna go over things with the county engineer's office on that, the best way to fix that problem. We're looking at replacing 100 feet of pipe in the road, or just an area where it's settled. They're looking for the camera from Water Resources. They cameraed it for us, so they're seeing if they got the video still for that, which we only got pictures. They keep that kind of stuff on their files. Right now, we're working on the cemetery foundations. Hopefully this weather holds a little longer before I get them poured. Some new business. As talking with the engineer's office, we're gonna submit the OPWC 2027 grant for Howell Road. We'll do the section from Sunnybrook Road to the Talmadge line. Then probably the following year for 2028, we will submit Howell Road again for State Route 40, from State Route 43 to the Sunnybrook Road, sorry. Actually, the county in 2027 is actually supposed to be doing some work on the bridge there, so that's why we kind of shifted on both sides of it. This year, the 2026 OPWC Sanctuary Review project, we are going to add Willowbrook Road onto that for, we will have to pay the full cost of this on Willowbrook Road, but it's to get better pricing on the asphalt. So what we have some areas down there that are blown apart, so this way the companies will come in, we can piggyback it, that way we can get a better price since they're here in town doing sanctuary review. We'll see what they come up with Willowbrook Road to save some money on that. And just to let everybody know, we have started road mowing the edges of the roadways. We're getting there. Everything's been pushed so far behind with rain this year that we're slowly catching up. I got crews every direction right at the moment. So other than that, that's my report.
Dave, have we put out anything for chip and seal yet? What's the status of chip and seal for this year?
Well, this year with all the different blowouts and things we've had having the roadways, we're gonna hold off on chip and seal.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'm not positive, they're still working on numbers of what Willowbrook's gonna cost, Buckeye's gonna cost, that kind of stuff.
Is it something that we could tie in late in the year, or we're just not gonna chip and seal at all this year?
We'll have, how do you say it, it's probably gonna all come back to where all the numbers come in on everything before we try to move forward with chip and seal.
What's the estimate on getting those numbers in?
They are actually supposed to have some of the stuff for me this week. Or if we do decide to do something completely different with Buckeye, it'll change the whole scope of the job, so they may, you know what I mean, they may not have a number for that. If it ends up being from catch basin to catch basin, it's about 110 feet of road and piping that'll have to be tore up.
Okay.
A little bit of curb and gutter and everything else, so it's just all what they come back with a recommendation on what's going on with that pipe.
Okay.
Dave, would it be the same time frame for Malloy as well? Do you think it would, or something, a time frame on that, as far as what Mike will let us know what that might be?
Actually, Mike's on vacation this week. I'm gonna meet with Kelly and Sam, go over some stuff and show them that, and then they'll come back with a proposal of what we're looking for.
Okay.
Probably everything will hit at one time. It'll all come zinging back at one of the meetings. I know, there is gonna be some stuff for the sanctuary review. They're pushing the Willowbrook thing real quick, because we wanna put out the bid, the OPWC project for this year. So that'll probably be the first thing we get back.
Okay.
Hopefully I got some of that for next meeting where we can put out bid dates and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Dave, what actually happened on Buckeye? I mean, I know you said it's a pipe, but is that-
What it is a storm sewer separated. You look down through there, and what it looks like is, I mean, I hate to say it this way, from the pictures I saw of it, it looks like they took a bunch of pipe, and there's no bells on it. They just put butt pipe, like the old-fashioned field tiles. They just took a bunch of pieces and butted them together, and the pipe separated on the bottom, and it just took everything out from underneath it.
well,
That's actually one of our better built allotments. It had 12 inches of asphalt, and it just finally let go.
that developer they got caught and they had to tear it all out and start over.
If they would've got caught.
No, they did, on the second half.
On Buckeye?
Yeah.
Oh, on the crossover side. Yeah, that side they did get, so. So it is a piece, you can see where it's separated and all that, so.
Did
That's
somebody-
where they're looking at, whether they feel we can get by with the rest of it, or have to put a new piece in that section.
Did somebody hit that, or did they?
No, it just
fell
from the
in?
years of being
Yeah.
butt jointed in there, it just separated.
Okay. And then, Roy, do you know when we get the new website up, can these projects get put on there so people don't keep wondering what roads are getting?
Yeah, that's
paved?
just information that we can add to the site as we know that, so
'Cause I know-
if somebody doesn't see the meeting or follow up and watch it, they can have the information that's there at their convenience.
Yeah, okay.
I know, I talked with Roy too about working with Dave to do a 5-year map to show us what we've done over the past 5 years, what's been chip and sealed, what's been asphalted. We can hopefully maybe get that up on the website to show people this is the progress and then what we're looking at
Well,
moving forward.
I've received a few calls about Willowbrook, so that's nice that it's on the agenda.
But I think it's important to discuss the fact that, like, this here, chip and seal might not happen this year because so many other things have broken. So we could say our plan is to chip and seal this much over the next 3 years, but 1 year we could become quickly behind because a couple roads fell apart, so.
Well, and that is some of the data I sent over to Roy on paving projects. All it takes is one road to disintegrate, and everything's off the books. So you almost hate to put out too many roads ahead of time, like, because all of a sudden, like this, everything want to ride. In the last few years, we've been averaging around 6-7 miles of chip and seal every year for the last 3-4 years, and well, this year now it's kind of stuck with these emergency projects.
Right.
One last thing, Dave, Klein Road, what are they doing with that?
Klein Road is what it's looking like. They told us to go ahead and patch it. What it is, they think the top coat is oxidated, and it's just coming apart. So what it is probably what year am I in now? Probably around 2029 is when we'll look at that for OPWC grant. We'll do Howe Road first. We'll just have to patch them little things. What we'll do is we'll probably take hot asphalt in there and burn it in.
Okay, thank you.
Dave, what happened with Hollybrook Lane? Where are we at on that?
I actually sent a thing out to them, and I haven't got a response back. What we're doing is I actually talked to Helmy and Excavating today. They're gonna go in there and jet the culvert pipe. And then the message I sent back to them, I told them we're gonna jet it first and we'll go from there.
Okay.
I wanna see what the pipe looks like inside and all that.
When's Henley gonna get out there to jet it?
I just talked to him today, so we'll see when he schedules it.
Okay.
Can you explain that one to me? Because I went and looked at it. The culvert's in their yard. Is that what I'm looking at? Right at the bend?
At the driveway,
Okay, yeah.
under their driveway.
Yeah, but it's farther back in their yard or something, right? It's not
Yeah,
up?
because there's a bigger easement on that curve.
Okay.
So it kind of puts it, it's a weird set, you know what I mean? But no, they feel the pipe's plugged and said something about it's not been right since Portage County Sewer did an extension. They asked, one of the questions was if we could jet it, so we'll jet it and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
All right, any other questions for roads? All right, thank you so much, Dave, appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, cemetery.
Oh, yes. This is fun. I enjoyed this. First of all and foremost, I want to say how much I appreciate our cemetery sexton, Jendi Miller, as she did the planning and the implementation of the program. Very well prepared. And I just so appreciate her doing that. The Memorial Day service went very well. And we want to say many thanks to Chief Malali for placing the flags. And Joe Jameson came in early and he set up all the sound equipment. The road department crew, Dave, I want to say a big thank you to your fellas for having the cleanup. You put all those flags on the graves. Do you have any idea how many flags we did on the veterans? Just an estimate?
Say around 600.
Around 600?
Yes.
Okay. So those flags are all placed on the graves. And then Nick was our moderator for the program and did a fine job. Don and Karen Elpson from the pastors from the Methodist Church, they did the invocation and dismissing us. And Dan Alexoff from the First Freedom Baptist Church gave his I call it his sermon, did very well. And the choir was there. We also had a gentleman by the name of Keith Seitz, and he played taps for all of us. The program itself was very moving in that we had a time to just be quiet and show respect to our military veterans. There weren't very many attendees, but like I said, it was a very, very nice thought-out planned program. And really, I want to encourage more residents to attend this Memorial Day service. And most of all, bring your children and your grandchildren with you, because you have to pass it on and teach these younger people freedom is not free. It was bought with a very high price. We don't want to lose that. And thank you for letting me be part of the cemetery and liaison for here. It was good. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sue, for the update.
Thank you.
All right. No other business under cemetery. Fiscal, Jasmine, do you have anything tonight?
Nope, not tonight.
All right, that will move us into, we do have an executive session. Before that, though, we will go to for the good of the order. I would like to remind everybody that the field high school softball team is going to state semifinals. They're looking for some support there. That's going to be on Friday at 3 p.m. at Firestone Park. It's actually a pretty big thing. First time a softball team from Portage County has gone this far since 2003, and it's the first time ever for field. So it's a big piece. So congratulations to the softball team, and that's going to be happening Friday at 3 p.m. at Firestone Park for state semifinals. We will open up the floor for any additional public comments before we convene into executive session. Hearing none, I will move to convene into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G for the purposes of considering the following manners to consider the discipline of a public employee. I need a second, please.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Roll call.
Kevin?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
We'll be in executive session 8:03, board, fiscal officer,
Myself.
township administrator,
Fire
and
chief.
fire chief. Thank you so much.
Electrical contract. That's your I built one Dropbox. I put it in OneDrive. Just
Need to be signed by key signature.
I don't want to.
All the board members are just representatives of the board.
How are you?
Yeah. Is there a way I can get today? Oh, it's just one person. I can. These are still. They don't have that. They don't have.
Here's the picture. This is just the one.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it's separated.
I mean, it's 20.
There's, yeah, I mean,
25 years
you can see this, it's probably been doing this for
Yeah.
20 years.
I told my dad, I said, well, you know, if you go back and tell the person that complained, I says, we,
Okay.
Hey, look at that, buddy. On the pen got those. These are pens for everybody. Okay, I'm ready.
Good. All right, we are back from executive session. There will be no further action based upon the executive session today. Any further discussion for the good of the order? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, motion second, roll call for acceptance.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick.
Yes.
All right, meeting adjourned at 8:29.
Have a great night.
I spent 6 hours Friday up at the